Peace, peace. Ali, coming back at you with another video. And in this video, I want to discuss the concept of creating your own religion. So this video was prompted by a conversation I had with my oldest son, Oz, who had a discussion with his co-worker, and somehow the conversation got led to, what do your parents do? And in his own words, he said to that person that essentially what my parents did was created their own religion. And I figured that'd be a great title for the video I want to talk about. So when you look at religion and what it is basically essentially a bunch of beliefs and principles that someone adheres to as it relates to a higher power. For most people, this concept is God, or the being is God or the universe or a higher power. And when you look at Christianity, which is the main religion as far as it relates to the West, this was something that came about from what they call the ecumenical councils led by Constantine around 325 AD. And what they did was, it was a bunch of men that got together and they exchanged notes and they picked and choose certain concepts and principles that would become, as we know it as, the canonized Bible, the standard Bible that most people know about right now. And from that book and from that religion, you have people all across the world who believe a certain way, who act a certain way, because certain things were taught to them and certain things were told to them. So taking that concept, we do this on an everyday basis. On a mundane level, let me say something like on a mundane level, as it relates to just physical nature, we can look at the drug game. In the drug game, there are certain principles that people involved adhere to. One that sticks out vividly is snitching. Snitching is when you're telling someone someone's business, or you're going to the police and discussing business that's going on in the neighborhood. You can be labeled as a snitch. And furthermore, and there are certain places in the country where if you're labeled as a snitch, their penalty is up to murder. At the least, you're going to be ostracized and shunned, but at the most, you can be murdered for being a snitch. So even in the drug game, there are certain rules and principles that people adhere to as it relates to something bigger than them, and that's the whole game within itself. On every level of our society, there are certain rules that people follow. We can call these belief systems. There's only 7 universal laws as taught by the Kabbalion, Hermetic principles. So everything outside of that is just man's laws. Don't speed, don't steal. If you trespass, you can be penalized. All these things are man's law. I'm not saying that they're wrong or anything like that. I'm just saying man came up with these laws. So taking that in account, the number one thing that you're to do as a human, in my opinion, is recognize that you are something greater than human. Some people call that enlightenment. Some people call that self-realization. I call it self-God realization. When you reach a certain level of understanding of yourself and you live and act accordingly, become your own master, your own guru. So what I'm here to share with you and what I'm here to challenge you is to start adhering to the principles that are in your heart. Every human that's watching this video, inside you, you know what you should be doing and what you should not be doing. You know when you are in the act of doing something that doesn't resonate with your spirit, there's uneasiness with it. Because something's telling you you shouldn't be doing this. So if we all have our own internal compass to decipher what is morally right or wrong according to where we are at that given time, then in my opinion, you don't need any other person to set certain rules and regulations for you to follow. In my opinion, those are to be used as guides and opinions of others. A lot of times someone will share something with you and it resonates and it becomes part of your belief system, part of your knowing system, or part of your philosophical outlook. In that case, we said, oh, brother, that resonated with me. Oh, sister, I'm feeling that, because it vibes and resonate. So what was worked for me in the past and what I continue to do is if something resonates with me when it comes outside of me, whether it be a book, person, place, or thing, whatever, if it resonates with me, it becomes part of my fabric where I live by and adhere to it. If something doesn't resonate with me, I just disregard it. Just throw it away. Just let it go. If you get in the practice of doing that, over time, you would develop your own know system and your own philosophical views on the way you should act. So I want to leave you with this. Everyone has an opinion. Everyone has certain beliefs, but they do not have to be part of your belief. They do not have to be part of the way you live. So I'm challenging you to adhere to your own principles, follow your heart, let your heart be the guide, and arrive to your own conclusions. And until next time, this has been Ali. Peace.